Hey, this is Rikki Roxx, and you are listening to Roxx100.com.
The Big Rock.
The Big Rock. Keeping the music alive.
Bon Jovi. Lenny Kravitz.
Hey, all you rockers. This is Johnny J, your host for The Big Rock. Catch me right here on Roxx 100 as we are keeping the music alive, rocking the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The Big Rock on Roxx 100.
Rock. The Big Rock. The Big Rock.
Everything that rocks. Rocks.
Wanna feel your best before making an arrest. What you gonna pick? Cop pockets when you don't want something salady. Avoid police brutality. What you gonna pick? Cop pockets.
Cop pockets, filled with juicy jelly, mouth-watering maple and bacon, and creamy custard on a crispy donut.
When you want an easy meal while you're busting that your deal. What you gonna pick? Cop pockets.
The cop meal in a pocket.
What you gonna pick? Cop pockets.
Hey kids, would you like to be a rock god the likes of David Lee Roth in his heyday? Then you need to get the
Rikki Roxx Rock God Starter Kit.
Each kit comes complete with black nail polish, eyeliner, sparkly scarf, an actual chick magnet, a velvet jacket to make all the girls go wild, and an over-the-hat skull cap with bandana accessory. Act Now will also include a handy booklet showing you all the best places to wear your sunglasses at night. Regularly a $29.95 value, now yours free when you take advantage of this fabulous offer. But don't act just yet. We'll also throw in a wall poster chart diagramming all the best rock faces to enchant your audience, proven to wet the ladies' panties in mere seconds. For all you newbies, this great kit also includes a CD demonstrating how to push your voice for the radio, taught by Rikki Roxx himself. So quit being a big puss and man up rock style with the
Rikki Roxx Rock God Starter Kit.
Now yours for just $29.95 plus $99.95 shipping and handling. Call now. 1-800-ROCK-GOD. That's 1-800-ROCKGOD. Now. Operators and tattooed hookers are standing by to take your order.
Did you wake up this morning with a nasty rash and nothing but regret? Did you go home with a sweaty bass player last night? Did you wake up wanting to chew your own arm off because some skank's laying on it? Are you feeling a burning, itching sensation in your crotchal region? Do you feel like you need to scratch your ass with tree bark? Are you walking around like you were banged with a Scud missile? Did you meet someone at the bar you thought would actually call you back? Idiot! Then you need Skankosporin. It'll cool that burning sensation before you do the walk of shame to the cab. That's Skankosporin Itch Paste.
Available at In-N-Out Party Stores, Bottles and Stuff, 8 Mile Liquor, and Cunningham Drugs.
Get to play, never know what you're gonna get. Oh, I wanna following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. It's Rikki Roxx, coming out of the box. Bitches come in frocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Rikki Roxx Show, spreading like the pox. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx, yeah. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx, yeah. Rikki Roxx up in your grill, motherfucker.
Yeah, all right. That was abrupt and not a good exit from that, but that's Bob's favorite part of the show is the intro.
Yes.
The rest of it is just a waste of time.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay,
There's always beer of the week.
You actually like beer. Larry hates beer, so every beer he's like, yeah, God, this is miserable.
I'll give this one a 10. It's the one drink I can tolerate.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what 2 episodes ago where all of a sudden he just came out of the woodwork with like a high 9 or a 10?
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's not that good, but I'll give it a 9. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? But, what am I doing here? Oh, I got to turn that up. Man, I don't know why it is. Every time you're on here, I sound tingy. I wasn't doing anything. So, all right. So they wanted a joke in the chat, and you said dad jokes, and one joke came to my head, but it's horribly racist.
No, do it.
I'm going to do it. Okay. Tell me if you've heard this one before. This is a joke, totally racist, but it's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. I'm not good with jokes.
How are you going to get me, like, lynched or something? I don't know.
Lynched? Okay, that's kind of racist.
Well, no, I was just thinking dong or something.
Okay.
Don't do it.
So here it is. Okay. There's an apartment complex. 3 floors. Okay, there's 3 floors to this apartment complex. 1 apartment on each floor. There is a white family that lives on the top floor. A black family lives on the second floor. And a Latino family lives on the first floor. Okay. It is noon on a Tuesday. The apartment complex catches on fire. Who dies? Or who died in the fire?
I'm going to say the white family, and they're on the top, 3rd floor.
No, the black family died. Everybody else was at work.
Thank you for that, Katie.
And we're done.
Wow.
Sorry, horribly racist. That's the only joke I can think of.
You are going to do so good the next time you go to the plant. That's all I'm going to say.
I know. It's horrible. It's such a horrible joke. And somebody told it to me at work. I'm like, dude, it's fucking hilarious, but horribly racist. So yeah, here we are, episode number 138 of the Rikki Roxx Show right here on Rox100.com, streaming live on YouTube.
Nothing like making the special guest co-host feel uncomfortable.
I know. So horrible. So yeah, we got a killer damn show here. We're going to talk about, God, we got a lot to talk about. The big Kaleido show happened over the weekend. Issues abound with, at least on my side anyway. We'll get into all that. Our Pumped or Dumb Band of the Week, pretty cool band out of Tampa, Florida, we're going to be checking out, called Variant. It's not an original name. I know about 500 Variant bands.
Variants of the variants.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my joke.
Horrible joke.
At least it doesn't offend half a good portion of the population of Metro Detroit. So.
Well. Oh, well. And then what else? We have an interview with Sonny Von Cleveland out of Palm Springs, California. I think he's kind of mad at me right now because I'm not good with time differentials, because usually I'm talking to people, this side of the Mississippi. So I had the times all fucked up. That's why I found it, because I'm like, okay, if it's 7 o'clock here.
4 o'clock there.
It's 4 o'clock there. But I told him that the interview was at 8, but he thought I meant 4 p.m. his time. So he's out and about right now. He's totally ready. Like right before he went on, he's like, all right, man, I'm ready whenever you are. And I'm like, dude, still got like a fucking hour. He's like, you said 4 p.m. my time. I'm like, I don't know how many time zones there are between Detroit and California. I don't know if there's 3 or 4.
Well, it's 3. You subtract 3 because you're in Eastern. Then you go Central, which you think Chicago, St. Louis, Houston. Then you go Dallas. Then you go the Mountain West time, which just really matters Denver. No one's in the Mountain time. And then you got Western.
Okay, like the Pacific time zone.
Pacific, yeah.
See, I don't think like that. I'm like, every time I do it, I'm like, I got to be missing one. It has to be more than 3 hours.
I have a lot of family that lives in California and Washington State. So when it comes to like, I like to call people before I forget it's their birthday in the morning. And I'm like, I don't think they're going to appreciate a phone call on my way to work.
At 4 a.m.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, see, I don't because, like I tell people, I'm horribly redneck. So every iota of my family that doesn't live in Michigan lives in fucking Kentucky or Tennessee. So it's like, I'm not calling anybody in the central time zone. Ain't nobody got that kind of money in my family to move that way.
Yeah.
They can barely afford to live in Michigan. And when they can't afford to live here, they go move out to the mountains.
Well, then you get, the mountain time zone. That's
no, not those mountains.
Oh.
The ones in Kentucky mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking to Sonny Von Cleveland. I think he said 5 p.m. his time was okay. So it's going to be cool. He's out and about. He was sending me videos like, I just want to see if this works. I'm kind of, out and there's going to be DJs and all this stuff. It's like an outdoor festival kind of deal. And I'm like, dude, I've had people calling to the show at concerts. I think you'll be fine. So it's going to be super cool, talking to him. Like I've said over the last couple of weeks, I've been stoked about it because this was a guy who spent years and years and years in prison. I believe, we'll get into it with him, the kind of trace where he's been and where he is now. I believe it was drugs. I believe. I'm not 100%, but I believe it. I don't think it was murder because I don't think you're doing 9 years for that. So it might be drugs or something. So then he gets out of Jackson Penn. I believe it was Jackson Penitentiary here in Michigan. Moves to Ohio. And turns his life around, becomes the lead singer of a band called Grim Trigger. They played my birthday show a couple of years back. I think it was the one right before the pandemic. And I was in New Day Revolution. He brought us down to Cleveland and, hooked us up with a killer show out there. And then that band kind of falls apart shortly after my birthday show. And he was in a band called the Wolf Hunters for a hot minute. I'm sure you've heard of the Wolf Hunters. L.C. Banks was huge fans of those guys.
Yeah.
He played bass for them for a little bit. They didn't really go out and do too much. And then the pandemic hits. Band kind of falls apart. He musters around Cleveland for a little bit, then decides, fuck this shit, going out to California. The stuff everybody from Michigan, Ohio wishes they could do. Just be like, fuck this shit, I'm going to California. He goes out to Palm Springs, California. Meets a new girl out there, wonderful girl, his girlfriend Claire, and now he's opening a kitten cafe in Palm Springs, California. So you do this retrospective of this guy's life. A guy that's about to own a kitten cafe in Palm Springs, Florida, about a decade ago, was serving time in Jackson Penn. And now, I've heard that he's going to be getting back into singing and all this and doing the band thing again. But he kind of did a turn and kind of started doing YouTube things. He started out doing reaction videos, and he kind of started doing motivational speaking kind of things. And now he's, one of those up-and-coming entrepreneur types out there, and city council meetings and all this stuff. So it's weird seeing him in like a suit, but he's got like the tattoos up his neck and down his hands and all this. So it's like, it's super cool. It's a super great guy. I can't wait to talk to him. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Last time we talked to him, he was in the Wolf Hunters. And then, of course, pandemic hit. So first off, let's get into, oh God, what's going on? Fatal Conceit's having a time in there.
They're giving us more appropriate jokes. I was looking at this. Let's see. When I was a kid, my dad got fired from his job as a road worker for theft. I refused to believe he could do such a thing, but when I got home, the signs were all there.
Oh, I did hear a joke.
Steve Engel. That was Steve Engel that came up with that one.
God, I heard a joke.
No more jokes.
No, this is actually
no more.
This isn't racist at all. I heard it at Diesel on Friday. I'm gonna see if I can remember. I'm gonna totally butcher it. So I know this girl, and she eats cereal every morning, but she only puts water in it because she says she's traumatized. And you're like, why are you traumatized? Well, because Daddy was supposed to go out and get the milk, and he never came back.
Okay. You're getting better.
I kind of got a chuckle out of it, You know, when I was a kid, whenever my dad would go out for cigarettes, I'd kind of hope he didn't come back. But lo and behold, the motherfucker always came back. What do you call a noodle in disguise? An impasta. An impasta.
So you got Katie on the thread, but then Fatal Conceit.
I think that's probably Tim.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing. Hey, Tim and Katie.
Super cool. At least I know when they pop in, the chat thing will fill up nice and full, so it looks like people are listening.
Yeah, you got Steve Engel on.
That's probably there's about half a dozen people listening right now. So I think we're doing just fine. All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts and harsh truths. Get back to the music thing here. This week's nuts and bolts and harsh truths. This is the segment of the show where you guys, the listeners, send us your questions about anything. Relationship advice. I ain't good at those, so don't ask me that. Band stuff, I kind of know some stuff about that.
You're learning.
How... There it is. Growing old gracefully, don't know much about that.
I don't either.
Being a middle-aged sex symbol, oh, I know all about that. Hashtag sarcasm. You want to know about sarcastic remarks? I know all about that.
Yes, you do.
You can send us your questions, rocks100radio@gmail.com. This week, we got Jose from San Diego, California. He says, hey, fellas, my band is looking to go on the road for either a weekend run or if things work out with shows, a full week. My question is, what should we look at as far as what gear to bring with us? It's hard because we don't have a lot of space, but we don't want to scrimp and be caught off guard. Thanks. Bob, go.
All right.
Jeff Land and him had a thing, so do it. Just get it out there.
All right.
First off, go ahead and do it.
If you just met a girl, don't bring her on your first run. Mm-hmm. That's not a great way to break the ice. Anyways,
yeah, no.
Did you leave her in Kentucky? Or did
I
you bring her
wish.
back? No. Okay.
No, I had to.
Okay.
Jeff didn't want to leave her down there. I was kind of like, just leave her.
So the first thing is, now this goes a little bit away from gear. The first thing is, as a promoter, I've seen a lot of bands come in from out of town, even nationals, just not bring enough merch. They always sell merch, and especially one huge name, they're like, yeah, so we have shirt sizes and everything but medium, large, and XL, and I'm like, where are those sizes? Oh, we sold out of those last night. And so, you got to know that you're not playing your local show where you got the same people coming out each and every week to see you. They're not going to buy new shirts. They already bought your shirt 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But when you get a new audience, sometimes bands just don't think, they're like, everyone I know has always done really well when they go out of state because that CD that's been collecting dust got new listeners. That's why we go on tour. Shirts, everything.
Does your voice always sound this bad?
Oh, do I sound bad?
No, I'm trying to EQ it because I'm like, dude, you're getting a lot of weird frequencies in there.
Okay, I just moved the mic closer. So the first thing is shirt. The merch is you should see sales. Definitely bring money though, because what if you have a bad night and you hear these wonderful stories of bands who are like, oh yeah, we paid all our expenses with the merch, and you go out on a Wednesday to start the tour. Well, guess what? Wednesdays are hit and miss.
Yeah.
You better have some cash for dinner, gas, whatnot.
Yeah.
But getting back to the gear, electrical, it's you don't know what areas you're going into, so you don't know that in-ears that you need the batteries for, you don't know where the Rite Aids are. You don't know where the Walgreens are. You don't know where the CVS's are. Why waste your time when you could just pack it?
And you probably won't have a lot of time.
Exactly.
To go hunting down a CVS or a Walgreens.
I've seen the hustle from that, and it's just better to. That's the stuff more. If you had a bass head that blew out, you probably can borrow one from another band. It's a rock community that sometimes helps each other out. Granted, you don't want to do that, but that stuff's easy to get. But the batteries and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely have your merch on point. Casting ran into it the last run. We were out of a couple sizes, and now we're properly out of everything after the Kaleido show. But we ran into it. When we started it, we didn't do proper inventory and see what we had, and it's like, lo and behold, we only had 2 XLs left and shit like that. So yeah, definitely have your merch, because that kind of ties into, the money thing. What happens if there's only 5 people there and you're not getting anything off the door? The promoter's a skis bag and he dips. Hopefully, if those 5 people bought a t-shirt, a couple t-shirts and a CD and kind of just loaded up and really loved you, you'll have some emergency money there. So definitely have your merch, as far as gear, extra cables, bring extra cables, make sure you do your maintenance on your stuff before you go, because, the worst thing, is, you're playing a show and your tubes are fried or something like that, or your speaker goes out, or you didn't know you had 3 blown speakers and only have 1 left. It's happened. And, the community can be there, if your head blows out or something like that. You don't want to be that guy, though, because at that point you're like, oh, shit, we got to stop the set for 15 minutes. It looks horrible and unprofessional, when you have to, hold on, let me run out to my truck and I'll go get you a new head. I'll be right. And then you got to dial it in and do all this shit. And it takes time, So, if, bass player, you can kind of skimp by if you have a direct box and just plug it right in, because a lot of bass players don't use pedals and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's just plug it right into the PA. Guitar players have a lot of strings because every band has a Jeff Land that'll snap 2 strings right when he puts them on.
Oh, I thought that's a given. You should always have extra guitar strings in your guitar bag.
And
just count on that.
Guitar players are super lucky. A set of strings costs $6, and there's 6 strings. My dumbass has to pay $10 a string. So I make those strings go as far as I can. And so bring extra strings, extra chords, extra guitars. Don't bring 1. Luckily, I didn't have any problems, but we had a lot of extra cargo on this last run, so there wasn't a lot of room for me to, bring extra guitars and all this stuff because we had a PA and groupies. So,
one other thing on the guitars, the extra guitars. Here's a little trick I picked up from a national. It was actually Smash Mouth I picked this up from, which was really ingenious. So they get, the back line. It's all white. Sometimes people just get all white basses or all black basses or all, they get the same color. They actually color coded theirs. So they knew you hand that bass player his bass and he knows the tuning. They would tune to color. And I always thought that was genius. I've given it to a few other people and they're like, I never thought of that. So, that goes outside of this, but it's a cool little fun thing I learned.
Little hack.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to the jokes. Okay. What's the best time for a dentist appointment, Bob?
I don't know. What's the best time?
2:30 because you're tooth hurty.
Who is that from?
Tim.
Tim. Good job, Tim.
Why did Joe wait so long to actually win the election?
Because he was biding his time.
There it is. You saw that one. You cheater. What? You're reading them, you asshole.
I didn't read that. I only read 1 or 2.
Cool t-shirt, bro. Oh, yeah. This is my Valier t-shirt from Canada. It looks horrible because it's green and green screens and all that shit. But so yeah, just as far as instruments and all that, bring extra cables. You never know when you might run your amp over one and it dies. Bring mic stands. You never know when a venue you're at has that piece of shit mic stand that's held together by hope and a prayer. Bring as much as you can fit. Pretty much. If you have extra space, fill it with something.
Absolutely. You can always rewear clothes. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't bring out new cables. You hit Guitar Center. You're going to have to be map questing. All that. Also, if you bring extra personnel, going back to the joke that me and Jeff Land gave you online, if you do bring extra personnel, the sound guy, if you go out of state, not every sound person really cares.
Yeah.
Some do. Some have a personal pride. And those people are awesome. But some people are maybe you're the first band on the bill and they never heard of you. And, I felt Blue Ridge. We had Tim there. When I was with that other band out west, we had a guy.
What band
there,
was that?
LC Binks. We had Kevin Wesley Williams doing sound.
Yeah.
It just, you're going to get that professional.
LC Binks, phenomenal band. Band. They got a new music video come out. Did you do that one?
No, I did not.
You didn't do that
I
one?
don't think so. No.
Okay. No, you were.
What's the video?
I think it was called K-Bye or something. Like that, I think. Off their new record.
Yeah, I don't follow.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, you're trying to trigger me.
Oh yeah, of course.
I got you. But getting back, it's just
phenomenal band.
Great to have the sound person, or getting back to the merch. Someone to sell you merch because when you're out of state, I mean, do you want to just leave that money?
Sell your own fucking merch, dude. Don't bring merch, people.
But do you want to just leave your money and your stuff just lying there while you're playing a set?
Nah, you do that shit like they do in Nashville. Have it right in front of the fucking stage.
But that's also additional. We brought up that band. Like, they didn't count on, we didn't go through all our merch. We sold a lot, though, when we went to Whiskey. And it was like, I have 2 cousins that want to support what I was doing. I was co-managing at the time.
Yeah.
They blew $100. Cindy Lish, she had a friend from San Diego. She bought merch. So you're seeing sometimes out-of-state people, and you may not realize that member of your organization is going to be bringing people that want to support.
Yeah.
And you're going to sell really well when that happens.
Yeah. Wow. So you brought all those people to an LC Bink show. And then they canned you.
I got a couple, yeah.
They canned you right after, huh?
Led to Black Irish, which led to my music videos, which led me to you with
Which
Casting Shadowz.
led you even more.
It's a journey, yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Falling stronger.
Let's hopefully Jose in San Diego, that kind of helps your conundrum there. Good luck on your tour. Bob, got a lot of music videos going on. You're a working man. You're making the bread. You're making sick cash these days.
Yeah, well, I've been sitting on 2 videos. One is we just got to shoot a little bit left of trust, and it's been that way. When did we do the shoot originally?
It was still cold out.
Yeah.
There was still snow on the ground.
March, April, and
No, it was before that.
Wow.
It was before that because I remember it was still snowing. There's still ice out.
Wow.
So it might have been like March, early March.
Yeah, so I've been waiting on get a couple shots. I went out of town. The actress Jeff wants to use was out of town. Jeff's, he's got band, family. He runs. I don't know where he gets that energy. And then
he's got energy for a lot of things, man. He's a crazy guy.
Yeah, and then I also got a Georgia Need video coming out with.
How's that working out?
It's working great with your old co-host Kevin Raslak.
Yeah, how's that working?
Good. They changed the lead guitar player, so I had to go back and reshoot the solo. But we're just waiting for the masters on that. It's
wow. Would they fire him, or did he quit?
No, it's a mutual. I think it was a good thing because I just reshot the solos, and I was like, do I keep the previous? I don't know everyone that well, and I'm like, do you guys want me to reshoot the rhythm guitar pieces? And they're like, no, he wrote that. Keep him in that. So seems to be a happy medium there.
So when's that one coming out?
Once we
is
get
that for
masters.
Celebration, right?
Yeah.
I still follow this shit.
Okay, yeah. Once we get masters.
Okay.
But it seems to be a little slow in getting the masters. So.
Oh, okay. So what else are you working on?
Probably that and Trust will come out at the same point.
Oh no!
Same day. Same day. I'm gonna release. I'll be like,
battle.
I got the Casting Shadowz Facebook account, and I'll be like, okay, I see Georgia Need going up. I'm gonna put up 1 minute before. No, I'm just kidding. I would not do that. I would not let that happen.
It would be a thing. It would be a battle royale. I'd be sharing it every hour.
Yeah,
like listen to it 10 times. Everybody listen to it 10 times. I will pay you money to listen to it 10 times.
You could actually just go through Facebook and get people to watch your video by paying.
Yeah, well, Jeff doesn't trust me enough to put me as an admin on the casting page anymore. So he took me off when I quit before. He's like, oh, I can't figure out how to get you back on. Sorry.
Who are the admins? Just me and him, or?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Don. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So and then I got.
If Chad's an admin, I'm gonna be pissed. But.
Todd probably still is.
Oh God.
So we got the Fallen Stronger. I'm in talks. We haven't really created any or talked that. I'm gonna have a meeting with Larry and Donnie for sure. That's a really interesting thing actually, because Donnie approached me at your birthday party.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I gotta talk to the guys, but I want to make a music video with you. I'm like, sweet. And then 2 weeks or a week later, I'm at Diesel and Larry's like, hey, can I talk to you? Yeah, I gotta talk to the guys. Like, Larry and Donnie really didn't talk to each other, but they both recruited me to do their music video. I'm like, so I guess I'm in.
There it is.
So yeah.
Anything else? So you got Casting Shadowz, the big blockbuster that's gonna be coming out. You got the Georgia Need thing, and another epic one by Fallen Stronger.
Yeah, that's just it for now. I mean, there's a couple other things where there's talks, but nothing really to announce yet. So I only want to do like 4 a year. I think you'd get burned out.
Oh, come on, man! I'm feeding you all these projects here, man.
Yeah,
you're making more money off my show than I am.
Yeah, I appreciate your co-host greatly. No, that was like
both of them.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, see, come be on the Rikki Roxx Show, and then you'll start getting Bob to do your music videos for you.
Yeah, so those are exciting. And again, just got the start with Dylan from Black Irish, and just like it was like just a little bit here and there. Bob and April, him, and then all of a sudden Jeff's like boom, And I'm like more into the hard rock and metal is more what I'm interested. There's a couple of metal bands that are like seeing my older stuff, which is more Americana, and they're like, oh, I don't know if you're the right fit. Well, I was making Americana videos. I mean, I'm not making metal videos. If you're looking for quick cuts and fast zooms, you're not going to do that in a slow acoustic number.
That would be hilarious, though. You know, get pyro going off while the guy's just strumming a guitar and zoom, zoom.
Yeah, no.
That would be epic. You should do it. Just totally fuck over a band. Be like, here it is. You know I do heavy metal music videos. You knew you were getting into.
So, no, it's kind of cool to have different variety, and I appreciate everyone that reaches out.
There it is. So the other big, the big thing in my world anyway was the big Kaleido show that went down at Diesel on Friday. The Line Within, Jason Kane, Cyanide, and Casting Shadowz. Then what was Justin's band? I keep forgetting what the hell that one was.
Restless
Abandon. Restless Abandon, something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't play, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. I just know him as Justin Alexander, you know?
Yeah, like Reckless Abandon. I think
I haven't seen them. I've only seen Justin before. Are they been around for a while?
No, not. They just do like the pop punk deal, you know.
That Justin's brother in it with him, or?
I don't think so. It's just like two other dudes. And, so it was cool. And, it was supposed to be on the big side, the big theater side. But par for course, there's leaks and everything was broken over there, so they had to do it on the lounge side.
They had like a party going on still there, though.
I guess they got it fixed, because I guess from what Joe told me anyway, was they came in a day early to get all their sound checking done, so they wouldn't have to do it the day of, and then they came in on Friday and went to go turn everything on, and nothing. There was drips because it was a big rainstorm that day. Dripping all over the stage. The stage was soaked and all this shit, and so they had to make the kind of like the quick decision. Okay, we got to move all our shit over to the lounge side and have to re-sound check and re-plug everything in and do everything over. So everything got pushed back an hour, which was super cool because it was Friday, horrible rainstorm, and they had like casting was supposed to play at like 8, and I'm like, oh, that's early, on a Friday. So luckily got pushed later. I think we played at like 9, which was super cool, and it was a really good time, and did need to say this though. I talked about on the show a couple times the amount of hate that I got for playing a Kaleido show.
Why? They're a good band. I don't get that shit.
I don't know, but it all harkens. It harkens to when Chris put out that From the Way song like years ago. Once that kind of hit, then you kind of like saw this weird, either you're still a Kaleido fan or you completely despise everything about them now because she put out that hip hop song with Trick.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you do whatever the fuck you want to do. You want to come out with a hip hop song, do a fucking hip hop song. Yeah. It ain't my song. Go do whatever the fuck you want to do, and, at that point, before that, it was just, everybody's kind of like, well, Kaleido's Kaleido. They're going to do Kaleido. And then after that hit, it was kind of like, what a lot of people say is, oh, they're fake, because Chris puts out this hip hop thing about dead hookers and all this. And they're like, she didn't grow up in the hood. She's grew up kind of well off. This is kind of fake and lying.
So it happens so much though. I mean, let's not pretend Kid Rock grew up in a trailer either. I mean, it happens all over.
The guy fucking grew up in fucking Romeo. And if you know Romeo house prices, you ain't moving in there for under $500,000.
Yeah.
And his dad owned like car dealerships and had money, and so there was this weird divide, and that song came out probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago or something like that. And there was a huge divide, mostly here in Detroit. I don't know about, probably not anywhere else. It's probably just a Detroit thing. There's this really big gaping divide where, you had the people that, either liked that song and were still a Kaleido fan, or people that were Kaleido fans that hated that song and no longer became Kaleido fans, or people that never liked Kaleido to begin with and that just gave them more ammo to not like Kaleido.
See, and that's that gets me on the lead singers because Christina's a great singer. Joey Fava is a great player though, and Joey Fava was on that rap song, was he?
No, I think he was in the video. I don't think he actually played on the song.
So, like, we're just saying Kaleido was one person, or
well, no, that song was a Christina Chris solo thing.
So I don't know why you'd kill Joey Fowler and the other people in that band.
I don't. It's just, you know, people gave Guns N' Roses the same thing after they Axl put out Chinese Democracy.
Yeah.
You know, now there's people that fucking hate Guns N' Roses because they came out with that record.
Yeah.
You know, and and I got a lot of crap, you know, mostly because I do the radio thing and I've been around for a gabble-god amount of years, you know, got a lot of, why the hell would you want to play a Kaleido show?
Did you see that room? That room was...
And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, what? One, I'm like, well, why wouldn't I? You know, it's going to be a fucking killer show. You know, when Joe asked us if we wanted to play, it was only Reckless Abandon and Sideline that were announced. And I'm like, I'll play any fucking show with the Sideline any day. You know what? I'm not going to be doing anything else. I'm going to probably be at that show anyway. It's not like, you know, even if I wasn't playing, I was going to fucking be there. You know, and it was packed house. Everybody was fucking cool as shit. I've known Joe and Chris for ever, you know, and they've always been super supportive of me. So I'm like, why wouldn't I do it?
The energy of that room, because I didn't play. I was there though the whole night. You had Line Within, they brought it. You had Casting Shadowz, they brought it. You had Sideline, they always bring it. And Kaleido, you know what's interesting is they've been around for so long. I think they're just getting better, which is like, sometimes you see that point where a band just,
they kind of plateau.
She came out, I mean, how long did she play? And there was intensity like start to finish on that.
I don't know how anybody can go that long the way they go that long. You know, it was, you know, I had some friends there that, you know, aren't Kaleido fans. You know, they're heavy metal dudes. And they're like, dude, I've never seen Kaleido. You know, I just heard kind of like their poppier, like their earlier stuff. And, you know, nothing of their newer stuff where they're a lot heavier, you know, and a lot more.
She goes screams and then backs to singing. I mean, that's pretty impressive vocal performance.
A lot of those guys had never, you know, kind of like heard the first, you know, like Love Design and Jane and all that stuff. They're like their early stuff, and they're like, oh, no, this isn't our thing, man. You know, so they kind of gave up on them. And I'm like, dude, Sideline's playing. You heavy metal guys love Sideline. They're like, well, we'll go see them. And of course, Rikki, you're playing, so we're gonna go. And oh yeah, we know Jason Kane. He's the shredder guy. He just shreds and spins a lot. And so they showed up, and you know, every single one of those guys were like, damn, Kaleido's pretty damn good. And I'm like, see, I'm not bullshitting you. You know, there's a reason people come out to see them. They're a fucking tight, high energy band, and got a lot of crap from it. You know, and I stayed really late, and I was helping them load out and all that because they had a show in Battle Creek the next day, which from pictures looked like it was a fucking killer show too. And talking to Joe about all this, and he's like, yeah, man, I don't know why all this, you know, that there's this weird hate brigade on Kaleido. And, you know, I kind of told him what I just said. You know, once that song came out, there was a weird fakeness thing that people kind of tacked on to Kaleido, even though it was just Chris's song. You know, you're like, they're fake. They're obvious. It's fake. Their whole thing's fake and, you know, not real. And I'm like, you know, and
it's entertainment,
and I'm like, it's those, you know, people are now all of a sudden like, oh, that's not, you know, if it's not real, it can't be good, or, you know, kind of like that thing. It's like, dude, if you like it, you like it. It doesn't matter where somebody grew up or, you know, whatever, you know. And it's like, they put on a fucking good show. They have good songs. That should be pretty much the extent of it, you know, unless they kicked your dog or something like that. You have no reason to hate them outside.
No, and they're the nicest people too.
You know, and that was the cool thing too. You know, it's like, I've known Chris and Joe, you know, forever, you know, when Chris was doing Christina Chris band and Joe was doing Robots in the Garden and all that. And, you know, I was talking to Joe and Chris. I'm like, it's crazy that it took fucking 12 years to finally do a show with one of you guys, you know, because in all my bands, never played a show with Robots in the Garden, never played a show with Christina Chris band because they did covers and they played all day kind of thing, you know. So they were all super cool, and they even asked if Casting wanted to come out and do the show on Saturday with them in Battle Creek. Jeff had to work, so we couldn't do it. But, you know, they were like, dude, you want to come out and do it again in Battle Creek? And we're like, well, we were just there a couple weeks ago, but we'll do it. And Jeff's like, I actually got to work. But, you know, so, it was a great show. And, you know, I think the Kaleido fam liked what casting brought. You know, there were it was weird. I got a lot of compliments from people rocking the Kaleido swag. You know, like, dude, I'm Casting Shadowz. You know, I've heard of you guys, but I never came to see you. I don't go out to a lot of shows. I usually go out when Kaleido's playing, but you guys were fucking awesome and all this. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking blowing my mind that people actually like a band I'm in for once. You know, so it was a great show, great time. You know, Kaleido was awesome to all the bands, and they killed it. And I have nothing bad to say about Kaleido. They're phenomenal people. They've always been nice to me. They've never curb stomped my dog or anything like that.
Have they ever not been nice to anyone? Has anyone ever got a story where they've been mean? And I think Christina Chris could be mean as, you know, some people in the area, but I've never heard mean word out of her. She just lets it slide off her shoulder.
No, she's, you know, even back in the day, you know, when, you know, I'd have people on my show or something like that, you know, that would talk crap about them. You know, she was always kind of like, I get it. You know, it's a radio show. Drama sells. You know, you want the drama. I get it. You know, and I get you got to, you know, have that drama thing in there. And Joe's like, dude, I totally get it. Drama works on radio. It's a big seller. People want to hear the fucking drama. I get it, dude. And so they're understanding all this.
Screw you, Joe. You didn't have a drumstick for me. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, so
nothing but love.
It was super cool. Chris Tucker's in there and Scott Mahalo's in there. Oh, wow. All the old school guys coming back. Why do people want to make you choose? If you like a band or someone, then you shouldn't be chastised. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. And it's, you know, I posted a video of Kaleido and it was the hate brigade all over there and all that. But, you know, if you don't like a band, you don't like a band, but you don't have to, I guess, go bash them everywhere and make people feel bad for liking a band or liking the people in a band.
No, and you know, most of our audience is over the age of 12. I don't think anyone, if I told you, hey, Ricky, I really don't like Limp Bizkit, why are you listening to Limp Bizkit? I don't think I'm going to convince you not to be a Limp Bizkit fan. You know, I mean, it's like, hey, we're over 12. We can have our own ears and our own tastes.
Well, Chris Slapnick likes Limp Bizkit.
I know there's a lot of people. I think I'm in the minority that doesn't like Limp Bizkit. I know a lot of people that do like.
Get
Limp
out of
Bizkit.
here! You're done. We're done. The show's over. You know,
I like Wes. Wes is cool.
But... Okay. So what's going on? Scott Mahalo from Chicago. He's there. Steve Inglet goes back. Know where a pawn shop is, just in case you need to pick up a guitar cheap and fast. That's going back to the question and all that. So yeah, the Kaleido show was super cool and had a great time. Nothing bad to say. Everybody was awesome. Oddly enough, no drama, which kind of surprised me. But with some of the people there, I was actually very surprised.
I was too.
Nothing.
Yeah, after camera, when we're done, I had a funny thing to tell you.
God, there were a lot of people there that if you thought they ran into each other, there'd be fists going down or something like that. And, you know, there were people there that I didn't want to see. And, you know, but it all worked out splendidly. It was one of those things where the stars aligned and there was no drama. No fisticuffs and none of that stuff.
So the lack of drama, why we started with a race joke, then we brought up a band I used to work with, and I brought up your old co-host. I'm like, are we just trying to feed the drama to tonight because it didn't happen Friday night?
Yeah, that's it. I needed some drama on this show. What else? I feel like there's more I got to talk about. Next big show for Casting Shadowz, if you're in the Indiana area, June 15th, we're going to be down at the Eclectic Room again, opening for Hinder and No Resolve. So that's going to be super cool. Open for No Resolve at the Machine Shop. I forgot the name for a second. I was about to say the Music Factory, but Machine Shop. They packed it out, and I guess this show at the Eclectic Room is getting really close to selling out as well. So that's going to be super cool. And then I have no idea what the hell we got going on after that. But
maybe finish the music video?
Dude, that music, like I've been asked, you know, because, you know, some very close friends of mine, I kind of gave them, you know, showed them the clip.
Oh, I've seen the view count of the like unauthorized, unreleased content. I'm like, jeez.
Well, it's like, you know, I like Dakota, like my best friend in the world. He's like, dude, you got any music? I'm like, well, kind of working on one.
I think I'm gonna watch when we get the official release, though. That's what I'm afraid about, is seeing these view counts. I'm like,
Well,
none of these people are going to watch the official release.
I told them, I'm like, dude, there's more that's got to be added on there. Things got to be changed. It's going to change. This is just kind of like an overview of it. And so they're like, dude, when's that fucking video coming out? I'm like, talk to my fucking singer.
I got attacked a few times Friday night on that. I'm like, not me.
I'm like, dude, I did my parts months ago. I was done. I have nothing.
Raz did his part about a year ago. I had to go there.
Just plug his face in there. Have him playing drums in the mirror.
Yeah, no, we started shooting this video with the older version of Casting Shadowz. And of course, I started like, let's start with the drum shots. He's going to be in here for a long time.
Yeah. You start with Kevin. Okay, this is how long this is taking. You start out with Kevin Razlog in Casting Shadowz. And before that video gets done, he'll have been in a whole other music video in a whole other band before this video gets done.
Exactly. And I'm like, never start with the rhythm section because I guess they're the least
easily expendable.
Because I shot Raz and then I shot you, and you were out for what, 3 days of Casting Shadowz?
I was out for
48 hours.
I was out for a couple weeks.
Over 48 hours?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was out for a couple weeks.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, when Jeff called me out that night, I'm like, could you wait till we got the video done? That was like my first instinct. All about me being selfish.
Yeah.
Worry about me.
It's fucking Jeff. Jeff Land, get on the fucking ball. Find some skanky whore somewhere and throw her in Bob's house and get this thing done. You can pay $5 an hour.
Nah,
get it fucking
always
done.
do it right. Always do it right.
I don't know. You can do it right. If you're paying $5 an hour, you can get the fucking shot and spend the other 45 minutes, doing. Come on, Bob.
Nah.
No. Okay.
I'm not gonna. Any women that you or Jeff are interested in? Yeah, no.
No. God, there's so many. So yeah, as far as Casting Shadowz goes, we got a couple more shows. Right now, the last confirmed one is Rock for Vets. That is at the end of August up in Farwell, Michigan, with Saliva, Saving Abel. No resolves on that one. Different day. Critical Bills on it. Different day. So it's gonna be super cool. Super big festival, mid-Michigan-ish area. And then pretty soon after that, we're going to be shutting down every single live show unless something huge and extraordinary comes around. We'll be shutting the whole thing down. They have 3 potential recording projects to work on with Casting.
Nice.
There's a full album. There is an EP idea. And there's an acoustic EP with keyboards idea.
I vote EP.
There's a lot of ideas.
EP would be the way to go.
Well, I'm the kind of guy that comes up with these things. Worst case scenario. Well, what happens if this guy is not here anymore?
Who's the keyboard player?
Me.
Oh, I didn't know you play keys.
I'm no Jen Reed, but I know my way around a keyboard.
Okay.
I know how to do chords, and I just have to sit down and work it out. I can pull an axle if I wanted to pull an axle.
Boom.
It's a Casio. Boom. Yeah, no, I know my way around the keyboard.
I just think your audience wants 4 more songs than what they expect from Casting Shadowz.
Well, I figured, do something like I was.
And why pay for 12 songs? I don't understand why full albums anymore.
Here was the big idea with the acoustic thing. I'm like, dude, how fucking cool would it be to hear like This Life acoustic with a string section? Like a whole different take on This Life, or like Trust acoustic with strings,
or new songs
slowed way. Well, I mean,
Metallica.
Okay, so that's the thing. Lisa Rosalino, she's in there. Sorry, I missed you guys. Was planning to show up, but something came up. I'm broke. We're all broke. Gas prices, baby. It cost me $20 a day to get to work. So yeah, we got to get into our Pump It or Dump Band of the Week. We are coming into the 8 o'clock hour this week.
Bless you.
We have Variant out of Tampa Bay, Florida. Their song Ritual. It's a new single they put out. Their last EP they put out was called Delirium Machine, released in 2021. It's all available on Spotify, Facebook.com/VariantBandFL. Got no info on them. They literally just sent me a music video. I'm like, that sounds pretty fucking cool. Wish I knew something about your band, because their website's not hosted anymore. So last week we had Rebel Priest out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Their song Lesson for Love. 3 votes. Nobody seemed to like it, so you'll never hear from them again. If you like this band, Variant, make sure you head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/rocks100. Give it a thumbs up if you dig it. Give it the face if you did not like it. This is Variant and Ritual. We're going to come back. Beer of the week. And then the 8 o'clock hour, the one and only Mr. Sonny Von motherfucking Cleveland going to be on the tip here from sunny Palm Springs, California, where he's at like a festival wearing shorts and all this crap. And here in Michigan, it's still a toss-up on whether it might be 50 degrees tomorrow. So here's Variant. Their song Ritual. Will be right back. Episode number 130 of the Rikki Roxx Show right here on Rocks100.com. There it is.
Stuck inside of the love I gave, with a head like a hurricane. Feels like I'll never get away. Sliding down in the middle, torn apart, left to die in this messy round. You and me, drowning with a hammer falls. My eyes like to roll. Serious, pressing with white light, building good light, process the skyline.
And we are back. There it is. That was Variant in their song Ritual. Yeah, I'm trying to send the invitation and all this to Sonny. I just paid for the actual thing, so it didn't get cut off at 45 minutes. and it's giving me like weird invitations and all that now. So hopefully it all fucking works.
We're doing beer of the week first, though, right?
Yeah, we are going to do. I just wanted to get him the thing and all that. So we're going to get into beer of the week. Beer of the week this week is Three Blondes Brewing out of South Haven, Michigan. Throw the can up for everybody. Oh, you got the barcode. There. Oh, look at Bob doing that splendidly. Three Blondes Brewing out of South Haven, Michigan. They're Boom Boom Betty. This is
Boom Boom Betty. There you go.
Wow, what was that move you did?
I don't know.
What was that? Were you
I'm
doing
trying
like
to bring some entertainment. That was boom, boom.
Oh.
I did fingers.
Pew, pew. Boom Boom Betty.
Boom Boom Betty.
That sounds like a girl that was on the road with us. 5.8% ABV, 19 IBU blonde ale. Picked this up for $11.99 for 6 12-ounce cans from Parkway Beverage in Clinton Township, Michigan. Some info on this. Named after our Grandma Betty, the original blonde, this ale carries a slightly malty sweetness and a light hop spice, leading to a nice balance. Like Grandma Boom Boom, it brings just the right amount of sweet and sass to any occasion. I want to know this grandma. It's a gilf.
Do you think she was really Grandma Boom Boom, or do you think that's just...
Grandma was a whore.
Oh, I was just going to go with, like, going back to the original story of, like, oh, she's not from the ghetto.
Oh.
I was going back to that, People entertain.
Okay. I kind of get what you're doing there. So let me see. Okay. Hopefully this all works when we try to get Sonny on here. It was weird.
All right, so I gotta just talk. So we got Lisa Rossolino in the chat, Steve Engel, Jeff Land coming up in the chat, Chris Tucker, Scott Mahalo. Thank you. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your names, except you, Jeff Land.
How do you mispronounce Jeff Land?
I know. So we've covered everyone.
All right, so have you tried this beer
No,
yet?
I was waiting for you because you were like messing with the Zoom. I'm like, are we doing beer of the week?
I was waiting for this head to go down. This is like ridiculous amount of head. Something I don't get a lot of these days.
I was headed there. I was going to be like, hey, you last 8 months. You probably needed this.
All the head. All right, so here we go. I'm going to try this. I'm going to have a milk mustache here. So much head.
Yeah, no, I like it. I'm gonna go. I'll go 6.5.
6.5 on this one. What kind of flavors are you getting out of this?
It's real kind of fruity and a surprisingly fruity flavor that it wasn't just. It's really coming out.
It's very fruity. Really coming out. Boom Boom Betty. All that sass just all over your face.
No, it's good though. I mean, it's smooth. I mean, I don't know about the head because you told me before it's just been sitting in your refrigerator for how long? 2 weeks? Yeah, that's interesting that, like, you gotta wait. Like, if I pour a beer, I want to drink it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... This tastes like one of the beers that I had when I first started getting into craft beers, and I was just looking for the most kind of, like, different things. And when they started coming out like raspberry beer or the fruity kind of beers, I was kind of like, oh, this tastes like Miller, but somebody dropped the Starburst in, kind of thing. This is kind of the taste I kind of get from that, where it's like somebody dropped a red Starburst in here and into like a normal like Budweiser or something like that. It is pretty smooth. The head on this is like ridiculous when you first pour it. Like we cracked it. It was
the whole time on Variant, the whole song of Variant, and it was still had when we were drinking
so much. So it's a solid drink. I mean, $12 for 6 12-ounce cans. You're paying $2 a piece. Is it worth the money? I'm sure it is worth the money. Are you going to be getting something crazy? A lot of craft beer guys like the new wild and crazy kind of thing. Is this wild and crazy? No, it's not wild and crazy. This is kind of like an afternoon sipper. You get home from work and you want a beer, but you're kind of like a millennial beer snob, and Milwaukee's best ain't what you're drinking. This is one of those that after work kind of chill out on the front porch kind of thing until kids get off your lawn. Nothing wild and crazy about this one. I mean, it's pretty right up the fucking middle. I mean, it's got the light hop spice. You know, it is well balanced. It's sweet. So yeah, I mean, you're kind of getting your basic beer thing with a little bit more sweetness to it, a little bit more smooth. Nothing wild and crazy about this one. I'm gonna go right with Untappd.com and give it a 7. You know, like I said with the beer last week, this is the kind of beer that if you have it in your beer fridge, it's going to probably sit for a while, but it's not the worst last beer in the fridge kind of beer. You know, when you have all these beers and you kind of go through them all and you have that one left, you're like, shit, this is all I got. This isn't a bad last beer to have.
I think this is good for this time of the year, too. I'll say, like, if it's June or July, I'm okay with this. I don't know if I want to drink it in the dead of winter.
Yeah, no, this is not. You know, winter beers are going to be normally your heftier stouts and porters and all that stuff. That's when you start getting the bourbon barrel stuff, the chocolate stuff, and all that. You know, this is a spring and summer kind of beer. You know, like I said, sit out on your fucking front porch, or if you're mowing the lawn or doing yard work and you want to take a break, yeah, this is the kind of beer you're going to want to have. I don't know if you're going to want to walk around outside with a pink can, but, you know, to each their own. It's a thing. You know, 5.8% ABV. You're not going to get hammered off a 6-pack of these unless you're just plain up slamming them. So you don't have to worry about getting drunk or anything weird like that. You know, it's a straight up the road, you know, blonde ale. You know, it is what it is. It's an average beer when push comes to shove. So that's a thing. Man, all the old guns are coming back out today. Joe Hull's in the chat. Steve Engel's there. Lisa Rosalino, Scott Mahalo, Chris Tucker. What is it where everybody that hasn't been listening? I think it's you, Bob.
I have a pretty face.
Yeah, a lot of these people, you know, haven't listened since Raz was on the show. You know, once Larry came, they all kind of disappeared.
Maybe Raz is throwing it. He's still my boy.
Well, I asked him if he wanted to come back, but...
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
If he wants to come back, he can come back.
Okay,
Just saying. Leave it out there. So, yeah, Untappd gives this a 7 out of 10. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And Bob gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Again, $11.99, 6 12-ounce cans from Parkway Beverage in Clinton Township, Michigan. I'm going in here right now trying to find a music video to play before we talk to Mr. Sonny Von Cleveland. What we're going to do is we are going to play some Grim Trigger. They played one of my birthday shows years ago. And Walking Through Fire. Okay, so we're going to play this, some Grim Trigger. Then we're going to get Sonny Von Cleveland on the line. Hopefully the video works and we get him in and everything runs awesome. So here it is, Grim Trigger, Walking Through Fire, episode number 138 of The Rikki Roxx Show. Share this on your social medias. Sonny Von Cleveland coming up next, right here, episode number 138 of The Rikki Roxx Show, Roxx100.com.
I'm walking through fire. I'm a fighter, chasing desire. I'm walking through fire. On the outside, looking at the inside, see the gleam of the dream in my eyes. Looking through the mirror just reminds me of all the time that I spent grinding. Put my back to the wall, stare them all down. 720 roll, taking over this town. There's something left to say when we come around. Stand up, stand tall, guns up. I'm walking through fire. I'm a fighter, chasing desire. Say what I'm walking through fire.
the gang, we ready. You greedy and petty, the wrong left. We the new kings, screaming the best. Yes, you skinny and running, we hungry and coming for the throne of the land. Middle finger for nothing. The church of the people, a killer's confession. X means evil. Stand up, stand tall, guns up. I'm walking through fire. You know I'm a fighter, chasing desire. Say what you want in the fire. You know I'm a fighter, chasing desire. Say what you want in the fire. Say what you want.
All right, we are back. That was a Grim Trigger. We with their song "Walking Through Fire." We are going to attempt to get Sonny Von Cleveland all the way from sunny California on the tip here. See if we can get him. Please, video happen, please. All right, Sonny is connecting to audio.
Hey, there he is.
Sonny Von Cleveland, can you hear me? Connecting to audio, cannot hear you yet. There he is. Hey, can you hear me?
Rikki Roxx.
What?
Again.
Okay, cool. Sunny California. It is getting dark here, but it's nice and sunny out in sunny California.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful day out here.
What's the temperature looking like out there right now?
I believe we're just over 100.
Oh my God. What was it, like 70 degrees here today?
Yeah. The beautiful sun, the beautiful mountains. I don't know if you can see me and all the things going on, but it's a party out here.
Oh
Palm
my.
Springs.
Jeez.
We got DJs and pools, and we got all kinds of good stuff going on out here.
Okay, so
it's a beautiful thing.
So
how's
you're
it going?
you're partying out there in sunny California. We're here in miserable Michigan still. God, there's so much that I want to get into you with, because last time we talked to you, you were playing bass with the Wolf Hunters, and that was pre-pandemic and all that. You were in Cleveland, and now you're in California, and you're opening a kitty cafe.
Indeed, amongst other things, yeah. I've, the music industry kind of ran its course with me. There's a lot of things that just don't fall in line with my morals and goals in life.
Right.
My overall philosophy in the Cleveland music scene, and it was trial and error for me to go through and discover that and learn that, but. It was a phase. It was a part of my life that I went through. I thoroughly enjoyed making the music, all the performances. Grim Trigger was my baby, but I thoroughly enjoyed playing with the Wolf Hunters. But there's a certain standard that I have for the people and the organizations that I associate with, and they just kind of didn't fall in line with that, and it took a little bit of time for me to discover that.
Mm-hmm.
But once I discovered that, I had to make my departure, and I decided to focus on the goals and things that are really important in my life, which are motivational speaking, entrepreneurship, and I did, man. I had to, I went through a pretty rocky breakup with my ex, and I used that momentum to shift my life and take control of my life, and decided to come out to the sunny West Coast, and here we are. So I am opening a cat cafe, and amongst other things, I'm a an ambassador for a wonderful nonprofit organization called Buddha Bullying, where we go to schools and talk to kids about the effects of bullying and how we can eradicate that, give them the tools and just general awareness on how to eliminate bullying, whether they're victims of bullying or if they're a bully themselves. We give them ways to get out of that and how to grow out of it and just bring awareness. And we do a lot of work with parents and teachers so they can recognize bullying, and we're trying to eradicate it because it's such a bad thing. I mean, if you see all the stuff going on in the news right now with these shootings, it's just disgusting, man. And so we're trying to do our part to help there. And I'm preparing for my first TEDx.
And, something, kind of doing a quick rewind, because you've kind of told me bits and pieces of your story. And I think it is a phenomenal story, about a guy who literally turned his entire life around. You spent time in Michigan.
18 years.
How many?
18 years.
Okay, and you spent some time in some of our finer establishments here in Michigan.
Yes, the wonderful hotels. That's where I spent 18 years, was in the Michigan penitentiary.
18?
Okay.
I was 18. I was born and raised in Michigan, just outside of Lansing, a little podunk town called Carson City. And I went to prison when I was 16. I was horribly sexually molested as a child by 4 different men from the age of 5 until I was 10. And I repressed a lot of that because obviously as a child, I didn't know how to process that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught a felony when I was 7 because I acted out because, again, I didn't know how to process emotion. And so I acted out in behavioral ways. And I was charged with a felony at 7. At 13, I really got into drugs and alcohol and kind of grew up before my time because I didn't know how to process.
Mm-hmm.
So I was finding a way to deal with the hurt and the emotion that was going on inside. And I turned to crime and drugs because the attention I was receiving from the police and the judges, I kind of craved that attention because it was men that didn't want to hurt me. They wanted to help me.
Right.
And in my mind, I twisted what was taking place as from the punishment to more of leadership and discipline from the judge, the prosecutor, and these men.
Right.
But the judges, they didn't see it that way. And when I was 15, they bound me over to adult court, and they were just like, we're done with this kid. And they sent me to prison when I was 16. So I did 5.5 years at the age of 16. Got out when I was 21. I was a train wreck of a human being. I had been raised in that penitentiary environment. So when I got out, that's all I knew was I was this angry, greedy, introverted criminal. And I got into robbing drug dealers and breaking into houses and stealing shit. And for 22 months, I ran the streets like a savage. And it caught up to me after getting 2 women pregnant. I ultimately got caught for a bunch of crimes, and they gave me 12 more years. And I went back to prison at 23. And in 2008, I went to the hole for 19 months. And that's where everything kind of turned around for me. I met a Muslim man who introduced me to self-help books and a lot of introspection and stoicism and philosophy. And having nothing else to do but sit in a freaking box, I studied all I could. I learned how to process emotion, all the trauma that I was holding on to, all the anger and hatred I had. And I processed all of that. I learned how to work through that emotion, and I discovered that through vocalization, using our voices, we can heal. We can heal any pain or trauma that we have. And I was able to do that. I was able to conquer that stuff. See, our emotional pain is like weights in a gym, right?
Yeah.
When the first time you go to a gym and you pick up a dumbbell, it hurts. It's painful. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. And it's the same with using your voice to vocalize your pain and trauma. The more you do it, the easier it is. I can tell you that I've been raped and sexually molested. And it doesn't bother me. It's easy for me to say it because I've talked about it so much. It doesn't hurt me anymore. I'm not affected. I'm not scarred by those emotions. And so that's kind of the centerpiece of the speaking what I do now. And I learned all of these things. I studied, and I decided to dedicate my life to helping. And then when I got out in 2016 at the age of 35, I had a real passion for music. That's how I got into the whole music game. And I figured that if I could be successful in music, I would be able to give my message out more to people,
Right?
Because of the influence that
Use it as a platform to get your message out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I obviously didn't anticipate. Obviously, being ignorant to life, being raised in the environment I was raised in, I'd never experienced sex and drugs and rock and roll on that level.
Mm-hmm.
And those things took a toll. Even the wisest people sometimes fail. They still fall. They stumble. So I was allured by the attractiveness of being a rock star. You know what I mean? I fell in. My ego was just started to get driven, and I made mistakes, and I was able to stop and say, you know what, this path is going to destroy me, and I'm not going to let it. That's one of the reasons why I walked away from music. That environment is just not conducive to my philosophy in life. So I did my best. I gave it a great shot, and it didn't work. So I decided to switch gears and solely focus on what my passions are. And it's been so rewarding, man. Listen, I especially moving out here, becoming involved with the organizations, it's just so incredible to help these kids, to help adults, to help people that come up to me and they're like, Jesus Christ, Sonny, I went through the same thing and I've never talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And grown men with tears in their eyes and helping them to get through it. You know what I mean? It's such a rewarding thing. And we're really making a lot of progress. I'm involved with the Chamber of Commerce out here, the Desert Business Associations. We're involved with everybody. The mayor, I play football with the chief of police, for shit's sake. Who'd have thought that ever would have happened? It's such a fulfilling life. You know what I mean? And success. I had a skewed version of success. I thought success would be the more clicks or likes that I got, or the more downloads of a song I got, or the more people showed up to a show. That was somehow a standard for success. And I didn't appreciate that success is measured by personal happiness and fulfillment in your life. And I wake up every morning with a big fucking smile on my face because I'm so fulfilled. I'm loved. I love, and it's just incredible, man. And I mean, I live in paradise, for shit's sakes. And it's a living testament that if you live your passion, success comes, money comes. You don't have to worry about money. Money, that comes and goes, right? They say money is the root of all evil, but that's not true. It's the people that have the money that are the fucking root of all evil. Mm-hmm. It's what you do with that money. Money is an inanimate object. It doesn't control anything. You know what I mean? And so here we are, right? And now we're living my best life.
So, at what point was there like a, kind of one of those aha moments where you're like, okay, the music thing, this isn't where I'm supposed to be, I'm supposed to be doing something else. Was there one moment or one thing that happened or some kind of realization in your head where you're like, this is not where I'm going to find my happiness. This isn't working out the way I wanted it to work out. It's time to make another move. And when you decided it was time to make that move, what led you in the direction of, because for a while you're doing like reaction videos, you were doing stuff on YouTube, you were kind of doing that kind of thing, and then you kind of morphed into the motivational speaking and being a part of your community and doing all that. What were those moments for you?
There was one pivotal moment with the Wolf Hunters, and I'm not into casting shade or anything, but when you're in a band, it's a family, right? It's a team effort, and you're supposed to appreciate everybody's efforts. In Grim Trigger and in Wolf Hunters, I gave 150%. I always gave my best, right? And when it comes to the Wolf Hunters, it's a very greedy thing. Their passion is not really in making music, which showed to me I was ignorant to the fact that I thought everybody that was in music had a passion for music, right? Like, why would you be in a band if you're not passionate about music? And they're not passionate about music. They want to make money. And I'm not a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. I helped them build their YouTube channel because I really got into the YouTube channel thing. I helped Metal Mafia, Just Jen, Jamie Jam, several other people build channels. And the Wolf Hunters was one of them. And just no appreciation whatsoever.
Right.
Like I literally changed their lives by handing them that platform. And nothing. There's not a thank you. There's not a reciprocal report of support. I didn't even get to know that we were about to go on a tour until like a week prior. Like,
oh wow,
wait a minute.
Wow.
You have a fucking 7, 8, 9 city tour booked, and you don't even give me like I have a family.
Right.
I have to let people know. Oh well, we make the decisions. That's not how I operate, bro.
Right.
I put everything into this. I've built your platform. I've taken your band from being known here in Cleveland to being known around the fucking world, and I don't even get a heads up that we're going on a tour or we have a new song or anything.
Right.
But why just get out of? Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, go ahead.
Why just? You just quit the music industry. Why not just quit them and start up anew? Like it seemed like you did a full divorce.
That was right at the beginning of COVID.
Oh.
Right. So that's when I decided. Well, it wasn't at the beginning. It was probably a few months into COVID, 6, 7 months into COVID or whatever. Just when bands were still trying to go out, not knowing if we could.
Right.
So I figured I would just put music to the side until COVID was done, and then I would pick it back up. Right. I wasn't at that moment not done with music. I was just done with them, and so I decided to step back, focus on the YouTube thing. But then I left my ex, and that went really bad, just horrible. And I'm embarking in a custody battle, so I can't say much about it.
Sure.
But I was hacked, and my YouTube channel was deleted because of being hacked. Somebody uploaded pornography at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not naming names or saying who, but somebody uploaded pornography, and my YouTube channel was deleted. And my personal property started being attacked. Not naming names or saying anything, but my stuff started getting demolished, and my lawyer's advice was to just get out of the area. So I decided to get as far out of the area as I possibly could, to the other side of the fucking country.
Yeah.
And I live in Palm Springs. There's literally not a metal scene out here. There's not a rock scene out here. It is literally what you're hearing now. And I cast out some stones, and there's some things in the works. I'm not going to get into it too much. I don't think I'm done musically, but I'm not going to say too much because I have a lot of other things that are going on.
Sure. Yeah.
The last thing I need is more haters or anybody to come out and just start trying to screw shit up for me.
Right.
So music is a passion for me, and I'm not done. It's just things weren't lining up at the moment, and I had to prioritize and put things in an order of importance in my life. And these things, music just doesn't rank at the top right now. I have to establish myself. My fight for my son is my absolute biggest thing. You guys, I'm sure you guys have all seen the pictures of Roman. The kid is my lifeblood.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen him in over a year. So at the forefront of my life right now is my battle for my son, which entails my life. So
right.
That's where my focus is. And, when I get to the point where I can engage in that endeavor, then, I'll pick it back up. So
moving from Cleveland, to California, that's a big move. That's a huge leap of faith. That's a big thing. Did you have anything out there to go to, or were you just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to go out to Palm Springs and be homeless or, live under a bridge and kind of build my life again? How did that whole thing kind of work out?
It's actually an incredible story, which it just seems to fall in line with my life that incredible things happen. So I had I was interviewed on a podcast called Boot Camp for the Mind and Soul by this woman in England named Claire Rogers. And for the first time in my life on that podcast, I had the most authentic conversation with a woman that I've I've ever had.
Mhm.
I was at the point where I was sick and tired of settling. I was sick and tired of not having standards in my life, and I just dumped it all out. And this woman appreciated it, and she's the reason I came here. She said, "Go to California." She has been coming here for the last 20 years, and she said it's paradise out there. She's gonna come there. We fell in love very quickly.
Yeah.
It was probably a couple of months into talking. We literally talked on the phone every day for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, video chatting and whatnot,
Yeah.
and just fell in love quickly. Just there's something about authenticism, and when you know, you just know, right? Like you just feel it. And we decided to move out here and pursue business. She has a very prestigious background.
Where's she from? Where's she from originally?
She's from England.
Oh.
So she was born in England.
Oh, she moved
raised
farther
in
than you.
Canada. Yeah. She was raised in Canada. At the age of 18, she became a professional model, moved to Tokyo for 5 years, worked as a professional model, saved her money up, put herself through school, became Paul McCartney's tour manager. And
shit.
then J-Lo's tour manager, P. Diddy's tour manager. So she got into that, all that tour managing for all those musicians. And while she's doing that, she put herself through school. When she was ready, she joined a Fortune 100 company that rhymes with Schmemex. And because she's not allowed to actually say the name, apparently, in NDA. Well, I guess I can. It's American Express.
Okay.
And she rose very, very quickly to the top. She was the sales director and had a $2 billion sales target every year. She's the reason Apple is with American Express. She took the CEO of Apple to lunch every day and
Oh my
got
God.
them to sign the agreement.
Jeez.
My life feels pathetic.
Wow.
So she,
I have achieved
she started
nothing in life.
She started to experience burnout being a woman in a male-dominated corporate society. Started having anxiety attacks and determined that her wealth was not worth her health. I mean, she had the wealthy life, the shoes, the cars, the Porsche, the house. She decided to quit. So she just up and quit one of the most prestigious jobs in the world and became a keynote speaker and a mindset coach on corporate burnout, which is how she ended up making the podcast. She's traveled around the world doing paid keynote speeches about it and developed her podcast. And that's how I met her. And for the first time in my life, someone saw me for who I was, not what I could do.
Mhm.
You know, my
Right
ex attached to me really quickly because she saw that I was a rising star in the music world and thought that she could attach to my coattails and that would make her life easy.
Right.
This woman didn't want none of that. Claire saw me for who I was, and that to me just, I don't know, it moved me to my core. And so we decided to move out here, and we literally, June 6th was the first time we'd ever met face to face, and we moved into a condo out here. Well, we stayed at Airbnbs for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And then we moved into a condo together. We pooled our resources together, and we are starting businesses. We have a nonprofit we're starting, the Von Cleveland Foundation.
What's the Von Cleveland Foundation going to be? What's the premise and the point of that one?
So the Von Cleveland Foundation is going to be an organization that helps at-risk youth or youth that are in foster care or are transitioning and aging out of foster care, especially LGBTQ kids or anybody that's coming from a disenfranchised background, you know, that has convict felons or they've been in juvies or whatever.
Something kind of close that hits kind of close to home for you.
Right. And Claire will be instructing them on everything she knows about business. I will be instructing them on everything I know about philosophy in life and what we have pulled together. And we have a franchise that we're starting with the Cat Cafe. It'll be a franchise. So we have a projected plan to have 3 of them open in the next 2 years, with an expansion in the next 5 years to have 7 to 10 open. And what we'll do is we'll bring them into our Cat Cafe, give them a job so they're making an income while they're learning from us, with the plan that they will take over the next one that we open.
Oh,
and then we'll
okay.
open another, and we'll open another, and then we have trained hungry, ambitious kids that want a future and that have a goal. They'll have a percentage of the franchise, so they own something.
Right.
And we build these kids. But for the kids that don't have the business goals, we just want to help them discover their passion in life and how to pursue happiness. So it's an organization. We'll also be putting together a platform of speakers that have been through it, and they'll be traveling the country giving these symposiums to kids to help them we have a website, itopiacoaching.com, that has a bunch of coaching resources available, and we look to expand that. We're talking with some people that are in other countries right now to join on board, training other coaches to help these kids, just to give people tools to learn how to be happy and successful in life. In fact, 2 of those kids are working here today. I brought them in to help out with this event here that are our employees at Frisky Business. And they're phenomenal kids. And we're just out to give people a shot in life. So that's what the Von Cleveland Foundation is geared for. It's literally raising money to build a future for kids of disenfranchised backgrounds, man.
And, you know, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here is because I'm going through my own personal hell right now, and I'm learning how to, you know, kind of muster my way through it. And that's when you started doing the stuff on YouTube and Facebook Lives. And, you know, I'd watch Sonny's stuff, and, you know, you come off as somebody that is real, you know, not like a Tony Robbins that's like, all right, well, you just got to start loving yourself. You know, I know you're a guy that's been through the damn ringer. He's been through it, and you know, you start off every video so hyped up and happy, you know, what up, Sonny Von Cleveland, you know, and all this. And
it's your boy.
There
right.
it is.
Gotta have that energy, man.
You know, and I kind of gravitated toward it. And I, you know, just watching, you know, your Facebook Lives or your YouTube videos, I'm like, wow, this is what I want to strive to be, you know, have that kind of energy and that kind of like lust for life again. And, you know, it's helped me out tremendously. Just the stuff that you have on YouTube or stuff that I kind of just fall across on social media. You know, is there going to be, you know, are you going to go back to doing, or are you still doing, you know, the YouTube thing and, you know, kind of giving, you know, I don't like saying positive affirmations because that sounds kind of hippy dippy, but you know, that kind of thing, you know, because that's something I kind of fell into recently, is the positive things like, yo, dude, you're worth what you want. You don't need to be bummed out and all this stuff all the time. That's kind of like a message that you put across. You know, are you going to go back to YouTube and start doing that stuff again, or?
You know, I just did about a 2 or 3 week run with a show called The Daily Mastermind on YouTube, but I'm such a busy individual with all the businesses and things that we're doing. I just literally don't have the time to sit down and create the content. But there is things coming, and there will be a lot of things coming. There's a book that's in the works. My life story is in the works. There will be content that there is content being created on a more professional level. I can't say too much about it because of NDAs and all that good stuff, but
sure,
there's big stuff in the works that I never imagined was going to happen, but it's coming. California is the land of opportunity. I'm telling you, there's so much opportunity out here, and I've been lucky enough to tap into that. And so there is definitely going to be a lot more coming, but it all boils down to the Stoic philosophy of memento mori. You know, Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor who was a student of Stoicism, was a huge proponent of memento mori, which is to say that you could die tomorrow. Let that determine the way you think, act, and speak. If this was my last day on earth, am I happy the way that I left this? Am I happy? And since applying the memento mori philosophy in my life, I've cleared the pathway for everything in my life to just manifest happiness and success. Because if I fucking died today, I am happy with the legacy that I have left in this world. Because people will look back and say, that motherfucker spent most of his time trying to help people.
Right.
And
so, you know, a question, you know, if there's, you know, somebody out there listening, you know, right now that, they feel like their life is worthless, that they don't mean anything. Their family life is falling apart. Their professional life is falling apart. They're just not happy individuals. What is a good first step for somebody, who, at least has that thought in their head, hey, I got to turn this ship around because this is going nowhere fast. What's a good first step for somebody?
If you feel you have nothing, then you have nothing to lose. Change your environment. Go where you want, do what you want, and don't give a shit who likes it and who doesn't. You have to take care of you first. The biggest thing I would say to somebody is write your own obituary. It's the most life-altering thing you'll ever do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sit down and write your own obituary. You're dead, and 5 people are going to speak at your funeral. What are these 5 people going to say about you? Pick the 5 people: your best friend, your kids, your parents, your lover, your coworker. What are they going to say about you? And write it in absolute detail. What would you want them to say about you at your funeral? What age did you die at? Clearly, you want to die an old, happy individual. What did they say about you? That will give you a blueprint to the life you want to live. And you literally just wrote out a roadmap to what you want in life, and start pursuing that. Just start pursuing it. You can take it step by step. How do I get to this? What do I do to get to this? What do I got to do to get to this? You deserve to be happy. Every single human. We are here for the sake of each other. So we either teach or we tolerate, right? Mm-hmm. So pursue whatever makes you happy at the end of the day, because nobody else can do it for you. And you're going to die just like everybody else. And Alexander the Great died. Mahatma Gandhi, he's dead. He's gone. Right?
Right.
Even the Mother Teresa, dead and gone.
Yeah.
The good stuff they did, but they died still. Everybody's going to die. So you don't have, every day is a blessing. Death is trying to catch up with you. So make the most of right now. So what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. Today is your best opportunity to take advantage of anything you want in life. If you don't like something, stop doing it. If you don't like the person that doesn't make you feel good, stop interacting with that person. Block them out of your life. Why continue to associate with people that don't support and uplift you? You are the sum of the 5 people you keep around you. If you don't keep happy and positive and successful with people around you, you'll never be happy, positive, and successful. Because happy and positive and successful people are happy and positive and successful because they keep happy, positive, successful people around them. They block negative and unhappy people, because the universe responds to what your subconscious tells it you want. Mm-hmm. So if you focus on negativity, that's what the world's going to give you. If you get up and you say, oh man, my life sucks, guess what? Your life is going to suck because you're putting it out to the world that your life sucks. I'm miserable. I'm unhappy. That's what the world's going to give you. I'm sad. Yes, you are. Whatever you say you are, you are. I'm a happy, successful entrepreneur. Guess what?
So,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And it will happen.
When you got to that point, you brought up the obituary thing, and that's kind of a game changer. That's something I've never thought of. Write down what you'd want somebody to say at your funeral. What did you put when you came to that point? Because I'm assuming that's something you did very early in this new chapter in your life. What did Sonny Von Cleveland put on his obituary? And who did he want to have speak at his funeral?
I died at the age of 110. Right, and I was still healthy. I died in my sleep, happily. And my wife spoke, and I had a philanthropy co-worker who was a best friend who doesn't even exist yet, but I'm sure he will. My kids, who was it? I think my best friend and the president of the Von Cleveland Foundation, which wasn't actually called the Von Cleveland Foundation then, but I just knew it was going to be a nonprofit. I built over 1,000 schools in disenfranchised countries around the world. I was a successful entrepreneur. I set up, I had over 100 businesses. I gave my wealth off to homeless children, homeless kids, homeless shelters, and built shelters for people that needed it. And the one thing that I came to notice about writing that obituary was my life ended up all about giving. And I was like, son of a bitch. Here I had been living, trying to be a rock star, trying to make money, trying to do this, trying to do that. And I was getting nowhere, right? I was still getting the stuff I wanted. Sure, I was in a band. Sure, I was getting I was touring and doing shows at Rikki Roxx's birthday bash in Detroit. You know what I mean? I was doing that shit. I was getting what I said I wanted in the world, but I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't having what I wanted. When I wrote my obituary out, I'm like, I want to give. And I started to give. I started to pursue those ends. And I'll be goddamned if I'm not starting a nonprofit, if I'm not working with homeless shelters, if I'm not working with the LGBTQ community. And I'm doing it. I'm manifesting those things.
So,
and it's a blueprint to my life.
You talk about the manifesting, and I'm sorry, but we're getting into some weird stuff. It's not whole rock and roll like the show usually is. That kind of harkens back to a book I read a long time ago. I'm sure you know it, The Secret. The book, The Secret, and manifesting.
The Secret's even is just phenomenal.
What was that first thing that you're like, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna put it out there in the universe. What was that first thing that kind of not to sound kind of churchy, but kind of instilled your faith in that methodology? What was the first thing?
I got you. So there is a place out here called the Diamond Zen Center. And this was really over like the last year that I've really, really come to realize the power of manifestation. So I went to the Diamond Zen Center and they have Buddhist monks. And it came to the point where it was, what do you want in your life? Or what does your life look like? What did you want? And I talked about the band and everything. And you manifested that. That's exactly what you wanted. And Claire constantly has pointed out to me, she is amazing, that I'm the accidental Buddhist, right? That I have a Buddhist mindset because I have this amazing sense of detachment. But everything that I said would happen a year ago or year and a half ago has happened. And when she pointed, it was like a freaking aha moment. Like, shit, you're right. That's the power of manifestation. It doesn't come when you want it. You can't say, I want this right now and it's going to happen. It takes work. You have to take the steps, but it comes with belief, right? You have to live like you already have received what you wanted. I live my life like a millionaire, and it has literally caused me a couple of problems with my other kids. Like my other kid's mom was so pissed off at me. She's like, you've got tons of money, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't. It just looks like that because I live my life in the mindset that I've already received it. So that's all you'll ever see from me is happiness, wealth, and success. You don't know my personal situation, and you'll never know it. All you'll ever get is what I'm manifesting in my life. And whether I have $1 million in the bank or I don't, I'm still a millionaire. I still live a wealthy life. And I've come to learn that somehow it's doing it. It's manifesting.
Right.
There was such an amazing moment. Claire and I were up on the coast in Big Sur, and we were talking because funds had started to get low. We had set aside money for the business, and we're like, I don't know what we're gonna do, right? Like we need more money. Let's put it out to the universe. We need $20,000 at least in order to continue. And I shit you not, less than 24 hours later, we had $50,000.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's not the power of I don't know what is.
Right.
Like, holy shit, that just happened. We just manifested that. And it was mind blowing. And it opens the mind up like, holy shit. And when you go into something with just unfiltered belief, it changes things. It then gives you more confidence to believe more. And then you just keep believing. And I'm telling you what, I can't go into exact amounts, but it's a lot more than that.
Man, look at it. See, now you understand why I wanted to get Sonny on the show, because this is like important stuff. Yeah, we can talk about rock and roll and when the next album's coming out and all that. But this deeper stuff, how many musicians that are just bummed and all this?
It ties into being successful as a musician. One of my favorite songs I've heard as of late is Into the Fire by Asking Alexandria, right? And what they say in that song is absolutely 100% on point. I give it all until there's nothing. I walk into the fire, you know what I mean? And you just do it. You go, right? There's my all-time favorite song in the world by Killswitch Engage, This Fire Burns.
Mm-hmm.
That song is about passion. It's about living it. Like, I will not be denied. Oh my God, the breakdown in that song is just, it's so, and the passion that Howard Jones put into that is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Those successful bands manifested that shit. They've all manifested it because they said, this is what we want. And they worked for it. They believed in it. Ava Under Fire, when I did your show, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. They were at the show at your birthday bash.
Yep.
Look at them now. They've worked so hard and have manifested it. You just believe. You just got to believe that there's no other option except what I want. And it's going to happen.
Look at that. Yeah. Lolook at this. This is awesome.
And Rikki undersold this because he's like, yeah, he has some cat cafes, and we haven't even touched that. How do we go to cat cafes from this? Like, because this is how Rikki prepped me. He's like, oh, he owns cat cafes out in California. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do some research
All
here.
right, so yeah, let's get into that. How did you and Claire kind of decide, hey, cat cafe is the way to go? Let's do that.
She had visited one in Virginia. And we set out here. We were trying to come up with a business to start. We wanted to buckle down and start our business. We were first going to do a jewelry store. And the more we thought, we did a business plan and everything for the jewelry store. And then we both sat down and said, okay, how can we help the community and give back through this jewelry store? And neither one of us had an answer. We're like, well, you can't. So we scratched it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, we should just do a cat cafe. I had no idea what it was. I'm like, what the fuck is a cat cafe? And she said, well, I went to one in Virginia. It's a coffee house that has cats in it. I was like, that's a great idea. So we looked them up. There's 125 in the United States. There's thousands of them around the world, started in Tokyo. And we just said, okay, let's do a cat cafe. Frisky business, we'll call it. And it worked. So we're like, okay, well, what's the first step? This is what we want. Let's manifest this. Went down to, where was it? We started shopping for rental spaces. Before we even knew what we had to do, we started looking for space,
mm-hmm.
for a space to put it. And that's the power of manifesting, right? Because normally you're going to do a business plan, you're going to do research before you ever look for a space, right? Because it takes 6 months to a year to build a business before you're even going to get a spot. So what's the matter?
Right.
We did the exact opposite. We imagined that we already had it. Let's go find our spot. So we did. And we ended up finding a space, and we literally did it by trial and error. Went down to the animal shelter and said, hey, we're going to open a cat cafe. You guys want in? Oh, absolutely. Shit, we've been hoping for one of these. Absolutely. Well, we're going to make it happen. So what do we need? We started going to other places. What do we need? So started researching it. And just by belief that we could do it, we started doing it. And it's become this amazing thing. We're involved with all local businesses. We have Townie Bagels that provides our bagels and our pastries. We have Tanya's Kitchen that provides all our vegan vegan and vegetarian sandwich items. We partnered with a gay-owned coffee company here, the Coachella Valley Coffee Company, which makes amazing, amazing coffee. The owner of this coffee business is such an amazing, this man, not only does he fly to these coffee farms, he only works with ethical coffee farms that are women-owned and goes to them to ensure that all of the employees are ethically treated and paid fairly before he'll even look at the coffee. So then he looks at the coffee beans, comes back, he has an amazing coffee company. This man on the weekend washes 15 loads of laundry for homeless people every weekend.
Wow. Yeah, this is
it brings
amazing.
Tears to my eyes talking about this, man. I'm not bullshitting. I'm serious. And I'm like, I need that. I want that type of fulfillment.
Right.
So they provide our coffee. We then working with these other communities to bring the kids in and do these after school programs. We're now going to get cats adopted. And it just manifested. We just manifested the shit. and it's here. I am a living example. You can manifest whatever you want in life.
So you got the Cat Cafe. You mentioned that you want to franchise it, get it out there. The kids you're helping, you want to get them, if that's what they want to do, get them into, ownership and all this, help them out, which is awesome and mind blowing and all this. The first Frisky business, has it been opened yet? I've been following it kind of.
It is not. Our architect is submitting our second edits to the county and the city this week, and it'll take about 7 days to get the building permit issued, 10 days for the build out. We're looking at a soft opening last week of June, or first week of July. There's a lot of red tape when it comes to opening a business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you run into county issues, city issues. Well, you got to have this permit. You got to have this piece of paper. You got to have these people sign off on it. And they don't move at your pace.
Right.
They move at their pace. And no matter how much you manifest it, that ain't going to make them move any quicker. But it does work sometimes. We got our edits back from the county 2 weeks early, which is unheard of. It's absolutely freaking incredible, man.
Okay, so in the next, month and some change, that'll be open. And you also mentioned, you're speaking in, your speaking engagements and all this. I'm really
lining up my first TEDx, bro. It's gonna be incredible.
So you're literally doing a TED Talk.
TEDx, yeah. TEDx and TED Talks are two different. TED Talk is where the big boys go.
Okay.
TEDx is a smaller platform, but it's where the big boys get discovered.
Okay. So you're doing this, and if people don't know what TED Talks are, it's like really in-depth conversation with, business leaders or people that are doing amazing things and kind of getting into the nuts and bolts of who they are as people. And
just really quickly, if you guys are ever in Palm Springs, come visit Chill Bar on Arenas Road. Chill Bar, Rikki Roxx Radio. Come see Randy. Come see Drew, the most amazing people. And the ice cream man inside. You don't want to see the ice cream man inside, trust me.
Chill Bar, is that like an actual bar?
It is.
Yes.
It's this whole establishment right here.
Dang.
We got the bouncy house. We got a pool. We got DJs. We got go-go dancers. It goes all the way down this road. The front bar is up there. Live DJs all the time. Open 7 days a week. It's absolutely an amazing establishment. Chill Bar.
I'm living in the wrong motherfucking city. God damn, yes, Detroit don't do cool things like that.
Stop touring Kentucky and
we need to go out to California.
Yeah. You need to be here. And yeah, I don't mean to cut this short. I know you probably planned for an hour, but I have to get back to this because I'm helping these guys out this weekend. So
all right, you're good, brother.
Real pleasure to meet you.
Thank you guys so much for having me. What a great talk. I'm back anytime, man. You guys, I'm honored to be here. Rikki, you've been an inspiration in my life, bro. You really have.
All right, brother.
You know what? You're amazing.
All right, be good. We'll talk to you soon, homie.
Right. And congrats on the new business.
All right, take it easy, bro.
Thank you guys so much, man. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Take care.
See ya.
All right. That was the one and only Mr. Sonny Von motherfucking Cleveland. What do you think of that?
First off, it just shows you that, let's rewind because that was 40 minutes of a life story. And, you think about...
We didn't even really deep dive too much anything. I was kind of trying to gloss over so much. But
society, let's get back to that. Society gave up on them when he was a teenager.
Before that, he was 7 years old.
But when they're trying you as an adult at 16, society's saying, nah,
this guy's a lost cause.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be a career, lifelong criminal.
Exactly. And, then he did even The Hole, and now he's out doing TED Talks or TEDx's, and
hey, that's still big shit.
Oh, absolutely.
That's still big shit, dude. That's why, I wanted to get him on here because one, he has that, what do you say, 19 years, 18 years in jail. Pretty much his entire youth was spent in jail.
Really dumb.
Sexually assaulted as a child. So that's one of the big things because it's like this guy has he had probably the worst childhood you can possibly fathom to come up with. And he turned it all around. And now he's doing things that boggle my mind how the great things he's doing. So it's kind of one of those things. Yeah, it's not rock and roll. He kind of has that chapter in his book, of, yeah, I was a singer and a bass player, but just the fact that you can be so given up on, abused, thrown in jail, thrown in the hole, and he had enough of the wherewithal to kind of, he talked about, getting the books in the hole and just studying and getting himself out of it and turning his life around. And then at some point, when he gets out, he finds that music isn't doing what he wants to do, and yeah, this show is a rock and roll show and all that, but it doesn't have to be your life if that's not where your life, if that's not what you want your life to be.
And you're dealing with a lot of artists too. There's a lot of emotions. I love the music community, but there's a lot of emotions out there. You're artists, and some of the stuff he said, I'm not an inspirational speaker, but I believe in it. Like, I believe in like a magnetism. Like, if you always notice that guy that's always like, oh, my life sucks. Oh, my life sucks. They never get better. But then the guy that just seems like, oh, this is the greatest day ever, he seems to win the lotto every week. And I definitely believe that your attitude will convey in your relationships and what you attract around you. And, I'm not an inspirational speaker, but some of the things he said, and I don't usually watch those, I totally believe in.
It's been very helpful to me, and, seeing where my life is, I'm like, well, my life didn't suck as nearly as much as his, and he, left a horrible relationship, and like you said, he hasn't seen his kid in a year, and he's still finding a way you saw him, one of the happiest motherfuckers we've ever had on this show, just always, exuding positivity and all that, and that's a huge thing. So kind of what I wanted, to kind of put across to people, because being in music and all this, artists, a lot of artists are very damaged people. That's where they get their creative spark. And to be able to write phenomenal lyrics, Amanda or Ava Marie, whatever you want to call her, and Ava Under Fire, a lot of her stuff was based off of her father, like heroin, and, she uses that, and she uses it in a good way, and she uses her songs in a good way to touch other people. So that's her way of giving back. Like Sonny, he decided that music wasn't the way that he wanted to deliver his message. He found another way, so, Amanda, or Ava, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Eva, whatever, she uses music to put across her thing. And, you watch videos of Ava, whatever you want, Eve Under Fire, people crying, and it means so much to them and all this.
Even go with Eva's personality, though, and her hard work and stuff. Like, she had a tough upbringing. You don't see her give up on life. Anyone that meets her, there's a positivity. Obviously, she's in depth with the lyrics that she wrote, but she didn't let, like, a tough childhood
destroy her.
Yeah. No, it's about, okay, this is my story. I want to uplift others. You just look at what she's doing with anxiety now. I mean, with that recent paper. I mean, it's an amazing story.
And so, like I said 100 times, this is predominantly a rock show. And yes, we do care about when bands' new albums coming out. It is a thing. And I didn't get to go into the thing because Grim Trigger posted something on their Facebook with Sonny on it. So, and he said, "Oh, music might be a thing again." I'm thinking maybe Grim Trigger comes back, but it's kind of one of those. This was kind of something more because of what I'm going through and how my life is, and kind of something more selfish, more just for me to be able to talk to him, and get the message, that same message that I want, get it across to the listeners and all that. And so it's super cool. He's doing amazing things. He's made a lot of tough decisions. He could have easily split with his wife and stayed in Cleveland and been around his kid, but that's not where he needed a fresh start, and he literally moved as far away as you could to stay in unless you want to go to fucking Hawaii. You pretty much went as far as you could from where your home is to find that happiness. And it's really inspiring shit. It's really cool, and gonna have to get him back on. You know, he told me he was kind of working, and he thought this was gonna be like an hour earlier, so he had other shit that had to go on. But it actually worked out perfectly. You know, it's still sunny out there, in California. Here, it's almost 9 o'clock at night. I need to fucking move. I need to get the hell out of here. This is horrible.
They already got a bass player out there.
And so yeah, we're gonna close the show down. Next week on the show, he brought up Ava Under Fire. We're gonna be talking to Chris Slapnick next week. You're not gonna be here. Larry will be back. Larry went up north for the holiday with the fam and all that, so that's why Bob Sergott's here.
And Michigan's got some good places too. You know, we just can go ooh and ah over California, but I'd take Northern Michigan.
But it gets shitty here in the winter, though. It gets very fucking gloomy. You know, seasonal depression is a thing here. You know, winter in California. Oh shit, it's cold. I might have to put a hoodie on. It's 52 degrees.
It rains all the time. Oh my god, it sucks. It's 62 and it rains all the time.
It's 62 degrees out here on Christmas. Oh, that sucks. You know, Michigan, you know, it's gloomy and snowy and blech. You know, outside of Christmas, get rid of the fucking snow, you know. So, you know, doing great things. Look up Sonny Von Cleveland. He's done so much stuff. I don't know if he's on. He says YouTube got all jacked up. So you can find him out there. Look up Claire Rogers, the podcast that she does or did. I don't know if she's still doing it anymore. Look up Frisky Business if you're ever out in the Palm Springs area. They're going to be opening up in a couple weeks. What was that bar that I definitely want to go to? Cool Bar or something like that, or
I catch that.
Something like that. They do cool stuff there, bouncy houses and all that. Ice cream guys out there. Seems wonderful. Seems fucking wonderful. So super cool. Make sure you guys share this on your social medias and all that. And I feel bad because I was going to play the Wolf Hunters at the end of the thing, but he pretty much just slammed the fuck out of the band.
Yeah, no, there's your drama. You were looking for drama all weekend. You finally got your drama.
And I was going to call Sonny out on it. He's like, well, I don't want to cast shade and all this. But this band are a bunch of fucking idiots.
Narcissist is what I got from that.
Yeah, so I'm going to play Wolf Hunters. I'm going to do it. Sonny's in the video. Something he did, a previous chapter of his life. So I'm going to kind of pay homage to that. Just kind of have that in your head, that everything Sonny just said about the band.
You sure you don't want us to go to Kaleido?
I don't have any Kaleido videos. I had one Kaleido song. I have no videos of theirs.
Gotcha.
So we're going to play the Wolf Hunters because drama. Next week on the show, like I said, Chris Slapnick from Ava Under Fire. We'll be talking to him. He wanted to get back on here. He was supposed to... Originally, he was going to come on earlier in the show, and I was going to cut all the other segments super short, but he wasn't going to be available until later because he's on tour with Asking Alexandria and Nothing More in a Tray right now.
Tough life.
So he said, I told him next week we'll get you on Prime Spot and all this and get you on, and you can. He's like, I actually have shit to talk about now. I'm actually partying out here with the guys from Asking Alexandria and shit. You know, because when we had him on last time was when he was on the Buck Cherry tour. I'm like, oh, dude, it's got to be a fucking party out there at Buck Cherry. He's like, no.
No, we talked to him afterwards because, was it Theory of Dead Man that was like, had the strict COVID protocols? Who had the strict COVID protocols?
That was it. It was a Theory of a Dead Man tour.
Yeah, because remember it was like,
shit.
They had to be in the little closet basically until it was time. Yeah.
Yeah, so every time we've had him on, I'd be like, nah, big tour, but don't get to party and all that. And you know, with Chris, I can maybe poke at some of the issues around Ava, and maybe he'll give me some drama that we can dive into. It's gonna be pretty much be me because Larry doesn't talk, so it's gonna be pretty much me deep diving on him, and Larry's just gonna flex the gun show. So, you know, it's gonna be a thing. So I want to shout out everybody that's in the chat. I saw Lisa, you've been going on. I haven't had a chance to.
It's pretty serious if you read what she wrote. Yeah,
because I was paying attention to what Sonny was saying.
Sorry to hear all that, Lisa.
So I'll go back and read it all after the show's over. I'll go back through the YouTube stream because I ain't got to work tomorrow. Yay!
I do.
That sucks.
Great.
You got Sterling Fest all booked up yet?
Yeah, I do. I have.
Anything you can announce on Sterling Fest?
Yeah, we announced already. So Thursday night we have Electric Dream. Jason Curtuccio, Dylan McCarty's now in it. A few other.
Tiffany's out.
Tiffany's out. You have Barnett. What's her first name? So he called me on the thing. Well, it's just basically still a super group of a cover band. Just a few different people rotated. Nick from Square Pegs. now in it. And then that night after that, we have a Prince tribute band, Prince Project.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you have fireworks. And then we get to Friday night, and we have flying in all the way from California, the Bruce Springsteen Experience. This band is actually so good that, like, Bruce, he took a break from touring.
Yeah.
Max Weinberg was getting the itch, but Bruce is not playing. Max Weinberg flew all the way to California to play with this tribute act.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then they're going to be playing right before Jefferson Starship. And then we have Saturday.
Grace Slick's not in the band anymore.
No, they have a pretty good singer, though. I obviously watched a lot of videos.
Yeah.
So still, I mean, if you've got the name, you're going to get the best of the best of, like, someone. Then
we built this city on rock and roll.
I thought you'd go, like, White Rabbit or something.
Well, no, that's Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah,
I'm sure
but
they play it,
they
but
do.
Starship was I Built This City.
Yes, absolutely.
And then they had that other one. God, what was that other Jefferson Starship song?
Jefferson Star.
It was around that same time, like Mannequin and all that.
I almost said it because that's the first song that Led Zeppelin ever played as a cover. They did a cover when they first rehearsed, and then
I'm gonna have to look this up now.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I hate this live radio.
Jefferson Starship. Okay, so this was.
And the song that we're looking up was the very first song when Led Zeppelin was in the room. They played for a fun little rock factoid.
Damn. Is Paul Cantor still in the band? Oh no, he died. So he's not in the band anymore. God, where's discography? Let's go here
there
and
you
look
go.
for singles.
Oh no, you're on Starship, not Airplane.
Oh, so we're looking for Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, but Starship's got a few other songs too.
They had
Miracles.
They had something other than We Built This City.
Yeah. Jane was a big one.
Was it?
Yeah, you'd know it if you played it.
Where's We Built This City at?
Oh, that's like in the early 80s.
It's not in there. Did they not release it as a single?
They must not have. You know, Stairway to Heaven was never released as a single?
Because that was a long-ass song.
No, because they didn't think it'd go anywhere.
Winds of Change. That's not it. That's not the same Winds of Change. That's the Scorpions.
No.
God, now it's going to fucking... here, videos. Is this the right fucking band? Jefferson Starship. They did a video for We Built This City.
Did they do a video for it? Well, you're on Wikipedia.
Yeah, and they don't have anything on We Built This City music video.
I did not know there was a video for this.
Yeah. No, it was a thing. Hold on, let me see.
Can I tease my Saturday night yet? Or
Go for it.
So Saturday night, do you know who Mike Leslie is?
Yeah.
Yep, he will be opening for Uncle Cracker.
Okay.
So that'll be a nice little hometown gig there.
Jefferson Starship.
So
Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. That was Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
Yeah, and then I was
all
thinking
that I need is you. All that I ever need. And all I just want to do is hold you forever. Ever and ever.
Fantastic.
I don't know why Jeff doesn't let me sing.
And I was thinking Somebody to Love was the Jefferson Airplane song.
That was Jefferson Airplane.
And
Don't you want somebody to from Austin Powers.
Yeah, Robert Plant showed up to Yardbirds rehearsal, and that's what they did.
Really?
And he got the job.
Oh, God, I would love to hear him sing that.
Yeah.
I can't do a Robert Plant voice, but...
I didn't think you could. Not many could. But
Don't you want somebody
that's what
to
Robert Plant auditioned on.
Wow. There it is. The More You Know. Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane. Okay, there it is. So it's a thing. Okay, we're going to get out of here. Wolf Hunter's not to blame. Sonny Von Cleveland, he's playing bass on there. He's wearing a mask and all that. It was kind of like their gimmick. And obviously, Sonny doesn't like the band. He pretty much said he wasn't going to slam them, but he pretty much slammed them. So we're going to play that and get out of here. Chris Slapnick, Ave Under Fire next week on The Big Show. Larry will be back with The Gun Show. So The Gun Show will be back. God, what a pasty white boy you are. God. Thank you to Bob Sergott. He lives 5 minutes away, so I know whenever I need somebody, he's only a 5-minute Camaro ride away.
Yes, sir.
You can get through one song on the riff and make it here.
Yeah, no, yep.
All right.
I'm not going to tease her. So.
So anything else you want to throw out there before we close it down?
No, thanks for letting me fill in. I look forward to doing it any other time that Larry's up north. So.
All right, fire him. All right, so we'll talk to you guys next week for episode number 139 of the Rikki Roxx Show right here on Rox100.com.
Keep digging up my past, but I'm not the same. You keep pretending like you know my game. I've come so far to find my place. I'm doing my part, but you slander my name. When friends become an enemy, yeah, that's the enemy. Guess I'll keep it moving since this is how it's gonna be. Quit making friends with a dirty little den of thieves. Shut down 10 of these imitators of please those trendy things.
Your flesh and blood is vacated, so it's overtaken by Satan. He's infiltrating, never forget the manipulation. A slippery slope, then hope is faded. Words hurting, I can't take it. It's complicated, let's face it. Drama for your amazement. I'm undercover and all I'm hearing is blanket statements. If I don't smile, you embrace it. Bloodthirsty, taste it. It's easy to be mistaken. A ride or die, you're breaking. Apologize before I make it, or find a friend who's fine with faking. Waiting
Save your own skin. I'm not your heroine. I can't save you, no, I can't change you now. Save your own skin. I'm not your heroine. I can't save you now. Break these chains yourself. Save your own skin. I'm not your heroine. That's right, that's right. That's right, that's right. That's right, that's right. I'm not your heroine.
Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. It's Rikki Roxx coming out of the box. Bitches come in frocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Rikki Roxx Show spreading like the pox. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx, yeah. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx. Rikki Roxx, Rikki Roxx, yeah. Rikki Roxx up in your grill, motherfucker.
Hey, this is Rikki Roxx, and you are listening to Rocks100.com.